So that evening was a public program, and we had arranged it at a beautiful historic building in Hawaii, but outdoors in a courtyard, because the climate was very gentle and it was beautiful. There were palm trees overhead and breezes coming in from the ocean. And we had publicized the program as best we could with postering, and we had limited resources to do it. And so the time came for Shrimataji to arrive, and she got out of the car, and it began to lightly rain. You remember the story about the nature earlier, and how alive Shrimataji said it was. And so as she came, and she made her way to the stage and sat on the chair, the rain began to fall harder, to our horror. And we didn't know what to do. And Shrimataji just very relaxed fashion just said, let's just go inside. So then we thought, inside where? This was a YWCA, which is kind of like a gymnasium with hallways and offices, nowhere befitting or appropriate to have Adi Shakti give a public program to seekers. And the nature was shedding its tears upon her. So this was going on in the subtle. And Shrimataji, we went inside the building, and there was nothing but a long hallway that was about 8 feet wide. And she said, let's just do it here. And I said, Shrimataji, this isn't, how can we do it in this place? Can we bring the throne from the stage and place it here for you so you can be comfortable? She says, no. She sat on a metal chair, a folding metal chair, like one of these here, for 2 hours, and met every single seeker and worked on them. We were all so worried about what Shrimataji would sit on, and the rain, and all of the things that weren't quote unquote going right. And all she wanted to do was meet and give her love to the seekers of that place. And literally for 2 hours she did not get up off of the metal chair, and did not get up until the last seeker asked their questions, was worked on, and then departed. So this was a tremendous example to us to not have our attention on the external. You know, we had been earlier in the day trying to buy a throne for her. We wanted to have the throne brought in for her to do the program, and she did it on a metal chair. So she was not in the least attached to anything in the material world, and this was an abject lesson for all of us that I've never forgotten. And the last story I'll leave you was actually in San Diego. And we had had a very successful public program. Many people came. Some of you have heard this story, but some of you are new, so I wanted to share it. And we came back to her residence in San Diego. She had bought a residence that she made the ashram, as she did in many places all over the world. She had a beautiful house there. And we came back, Shrimataji went upstairs, and she asked for some water and a little snack. And it was quite late, probably 1 in the morning. Basically, she was getting ready for sleep. And Madhuri and I were just sitting at her feet. And she set her cup down on the table, and she just closed her eyes. And so we were sitting at her feet, and we didn't quite know what to do, so we just closed our eyes and went into meditation. And she sat like this for a good 5 minutes in absolute silence with her eyes closed. And then she opened her eyes and she looked at us and she said, you know, in your relationship with the divine, in your ascent, you can't depend on your husband looking at Madhuri. You can't depend on your wife looking at me. In a way, you have to be like me, ekaki, alone. In your relationship to God, you are alone. It is between you and Him. And we just sat in meditation at her lotus feet. We bowed before her, and we silently left the room.